Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. How are you today? And I hope you are all well. We are from Group 2. We'll explain about the obstacle faced by PIGP, Beginner Teacher Induction Program participants at school. And yeah, this is the presentation outline. The first is Teacher Induction Introduction, and the second is Legal Basis Teacher Induction, and the last is Implementation and Teacher Induction Constraints. But before that, let's ask ourselves. We are from Group 2 and the members are Mustahani Uswatun, Galang Hidayat Jati, Hemas Novita Devi, and the last is Devika Putri Az. And sorry guys, this is the part of Teacher for Induction Introduction. The induction program for beginner teachers, hereinafter referred to as the induction program, is an orientation activity on the job training, development, and practice of solving various problems in the learning process for novice teachers at school or madrasas where they work. And for the next explanation will be delivered by Devika Putri Az.
There are four important points. Four competencies are assessed in the novice teacher performance assessment. Number one, pedagogic competence. Number two, personal competence. Number three, social competence. Number four, professional competence. Pedagogic competence is one kind of competencies that completely need to be mastered by teacher. Pedagogic competence refers to educational and teaching qualification. One of the qualification, the teacher should have the ability to manage and run the process of teaching and learning in the classroom. The aims of study are to know how the teacher pedagogical competence in teaching English. Number two, personal competence. Social and personal competencies are a set of skills to include self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skill, and responsible decision making. Number three, social competence. Social competence refers to the ability to engage in meaningful interaction with others. It is a critical skill potentially malleable to intervention. Number four, professional competence. Professional competence means having requisite knowledge, skill, and abilities to provide quality service as defined by the technical and ethical standards of the profession, the expertise needed to undertake professional responsibilities and to serve the public interest. And next, teacher induction purpose. There are 2 points important. Number one, adapt to the work climate and school culture. Number two, carry out his work as a professional teacher in school. And next, benefit of teacher induction. There are 2 important points. Number one, for novice teacher with CPNS status, the induction program is carried out as one of the requirements for appointment to functional teacher position. Number two, for civil servants who have not officially received a decree, the induction program is carried out as one of the requirements for appointment as permanent teacher. Uh, the next presentation will be explained by Hemas. Thank you.
Okay, now I will continue my friend's presentation. Right now we're going to talk about legal basis. Based on Law Number 14 of 2005 concerning teachers and lecturers confirm that teachers are professional educators with the main task of educating, teaching, directing, training, assessing, and evaluating students in early childhood education through formal, basic, and secondary education. The second one is a regulation of the Minister for Empowerment of State Apparatus and Bureaucratic Reform, or Permen PAN-RB, number 16 of 2009, concerning the functional position of teachers. And the third one is a regulation of the Minister of National Education number 27 of 2010 concerning the induction program for beginner teachers. The next one is the participant of teacher induction. The first one is CPNS novice teachers assigned to school under the government or local government, and then the novice teacher is a civil servant transferring from another position, and the last one is novice teacher who are not civil servant assigned to school organized by the community. And the next one is the implementation of teacher induction. The first one is preparation, introduction to the school. The third one is implementation and learning observation. The fourth one is evaluation, and the last one is reporting. The first one is preparation. The preparation is conduct a needs analysis by considering the characteristic of the school, educational background, and experience of novice teachers, availability of qualified supervisors, provision of manuals, the existence of related professional organization, and other supporting factors. And the second preparation is organizing training on the implementation of the induction program for novice teachers, attended by principal and prospective supervisors with a trainer of a school, supervisor who has participated in the training program for teacher induction. The third preparation is preparing a manual for beginner teachers, appoint a mentor for novice teachers who have criteria in accordance with applicable regulation. The second implementation is introduction to the school or madrasah and its environment. This is carried out in the first month after the novice teacher reports to the principal of the school where the novice teacher is on duty. The first one is the supervisor introduces the situation and condition also of the school to novice teachers. The second one is the supervisor introduces the novice teacher to the students. And the third one is the supervisor provides guidance in planning and implementing the learning or guidance and counseling process and other related tasks. And the fourth is beginner teachers observe the situation and condition of the school and its environment, including making observation in class as part of introducing the situation. And fifth is beginner teachers duty, the manual and work guide for novice teachers, school data, school rules, and teacher code of ethics. And the last one is beginner teachers learn about the availability and use of learning facilities and resources in school. Oh, this is the last one. The seventh one is beginner teachers to the education unit level curriculum. And the next implementation of teacher induction is implementation and learning observation. It's about guidance for novice teachers, include guidance in planning, learning, and counseling, implementation of learning or guidance and counseling activities, assessment and evaluation of learning and counseling outcomes, improvement and enrichment by utilizing the result of assessment and evaluation of learning and counseling, and the implementation of other tasks which is relevant. Guidance consists of phase 1 mentoring and phase 2 mentoring. The next implementation is about evaluation. Evaluation and assessment of the performance of novice teachers is carried out at the end of the induction program. The novice teacher assessment is a performance assessment based on the elements of teacher competence. It's pedagogic competence, personality, social competence, and professional competence. The four competencies can be assessed through observation of learning and counseling, as well as observation of the implementation of other relevant tasks. That is about evaluation. And the last implementation of teacher induction is reporting. The preparation of the report is carried out in the 11th month after the second stage of guidance and performance appraisal is completed. The next presentation will be presented by my friend.
Okay, the next explanation is about obstacles that encountered by the beginner teacher induction program participant while doing the program. The first is class management, not being able to establish control in the classroom, having great difficulty on the first day, panicking over problems, and different age of the student sometimes makes problem. Lack of experience makes the beginner teacher induction program participant hard to find and to understand what can make the student pay fully attention. They have to know the characteristic of the student first, and it needs time. Second, lack of communication. Usually novice teachers will have difficulty in building good communication with students and cannot cooperate with student parents. First meeting of the student will be clumsy because they haven't really known each other. Third, teaching practice. Cannot advance in teaching literacy, doesn't know how to teach, cannot carry out his plans, can deliver effectively, and etc. There is a quote states that practice makes perfect, and beginner teacher with minimum flight time of teaching will have difficulty in the use of teaching tools and run the learning activity effectively. The last is lack of strong mentor support. When facing problems related to the classroom practice, sometimes there are mentors who cannot guide or accompany properly and cannot provide solution. The another point of beginner teacher induction program is the mentor. The mentor should guide the beginner teacher well, but in the fact, there are many mentors that didn't have capability to mentoring of beginner teachers. And it will be the problem of the beginner teacher. Okay guys, that's all the presentation of our journal entitled The Obstacles Faced by Beginner Teacher Induction Program Participant at School. Sorry for our mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.